Supply chain KPIs. People get very confused about these. So this week I'm going to be sharing my 5 tips on supply chain KPIs, coming right up. So this week we're talking about supply chain KPIs, and do watch the video through till the end, because I'm going to give you a couple more videos to go and watch which will help you understand this topic a lot better. But for this week, this video, I just want to give you 5 tips on supply chain KPIs. And having helped people with supply chain KPIs for the last 30 years or so, I see a lot of very common mistakes. So let's see if we can help you avoid those. So tip number 1, make sure they are outcome focused. I know this is stating the obvious, but many people don't do this. So for example, whatever function you're operating in within the supply chain, let's say one of your goals is to reduce cost, think of the activities that will help you reduce cost. If I do this, that'll help me reduce cost in this particular function. That's what you measure. If you're trying to improve, let's say, picking accuracy in the warehouse, what are the things that can impact picking accuracy? Those are the things that you measure. So really keep focused on the KPIs that will help you measure your progress towards specific goals. That's number 1. Number 2, make sure that your KPIs suit the right level in the organization. So what do I mean by that? You don't want to be giving the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar business necessarily, picking accuracy and cost per case picked, and well, in fact, they might want that one. But all of those sort of detailed operational KPIs are probably not suitable for the CEO. The CEO wants CEO level KPIs. What are they going to be? Supply chain cost as a percentage of sales, delivery performance, those sorts of things, the top level KPIs. If you're managing a particular function in the warehouse or you're managing procurement, you're going to want KPIs focused on those functions. So make sure that the KPIs match the function and the level in the organization. Again, people generally collect too many KPIs. So that brings me to number 3. Don't have too many KPIs. What's the right number? I reckon you should be able to get away with 3 or 4 at each sort of level and function. They're KPIs, they're key performance indicators. They're not measure everything. These are the indicators. It's a little bit like driving, isn't it? How many things do you watch when you're driving? You watch your speed, you might watch the fuel gauge occasionally just to make sure it's okay. You might be watching water temperature. There's 2 or 3 key things that you're watching. You're watching your rear view mirror. You're not monitoring everything. You're monitoring the key things to keep you safe, keep you on track. And it's the same with KPIs. Not too many, 3 or 4. Number 4, what should your KPI targets be? Well, let's pick an example. Let's say you are picking at a rate of 40 items an hour or whatever it is. You've been steadily doing that. Set a target that's a little bit of a stretch. Not too much, but try to stretch a little bit to try and improve performance across a particular function. It's always good to give people a little bit of a stretch target and some rewards when they achieve that. I've got a great case study about monitoring one KPI, so I'll pop that up at the end of the video. And the 5th thing, number 5, is if you can, try to benchmark your performance. So you might be at a certain cost as a percentage of sales, you might be at a certain picking accuracy, you might be at a certain delivery performance, but how do you know how good that is? Is that good or is it bad? You can certainly track internally your own performance and the trend to make sure you're improving, but you may not know whether that's good or not for your industry. So if you can, try to benchmark with other businesses. You can do that informally, you can do it formally through benchmarking services. We actually happen to provide those services, but I'm not here to sell you that. These are the tips. So if you can, try to benchmark your performance with other businesses. And again, I'll put some links to benchmarking type videos. To be honest, this topic has got loads of videos on the channel. So do use the search feature and look for KPIs and benchmarking, and you will find all kinds of videos that will probably answer any question you've got related to KPIs. But all I wanted to do to share this week was those 5 key tips. And what are they? Make sure your KPIs are outcome focused. They suit the level in the organization. You haven't got too many. that you have some stretch targets just to try and boost performance, and if you can, try to benchmark your performance against similar businesses. There you go. What are your tips for KPIs? What are some of the worst KPIs you've seen, or some of the best, or some of the best practices? I'd love to hear down below. Bye for now, and see you next week.